You have a 5-page NSGL document, and which means you have made a lot of investments in mutual funds, direct equities, etc., etc. Out of the outside the NSGL, you have a couple of properties which you have given out on rent, and maybe someone is an office space or one is a residential house. And do you think your retirement is in place? Answer is no. The having a bunch of investments in different asset classes, lying in different places, which nobody knows very clearly why it has been made, is not a retirement plan. In fact, it is no plan at all. Every big goal, whatever it be, putting your children through school, buying a second house, or your own retirement plan, or anything like that, requires some kind of application of mind, and application of mind by an individual has to be in writing, simply because the other members of your family may not be involved, or you're sitting with your spouse and children and deciding on what is to be done, and therefore they know the rationale of what you're doing, right? They know that this is your trading portfolio, this is your investment portfolio, these are your mutual funds meant for certain goals. Only if they know clearly, because they are involved or because you have it in writing, is it a plan. If it is just in your head and your family does not know why it is there and what is there, and your family is either not interested or they think it's too complicated a portfolio, then it means you do not have a plan. So what are the things that you should do? First is you should have a plan, and a plan means you should have timelines on it. You say, okay, 5 years from now one kid goes to school, goes to business school, and another 6-7 years from now or 8 years from now one kid is doing MS or MD or whatever, finishes MBBS and studies further. You have to have that clarity as to how we are going to fund each year's fees. Unless, of course, you have so much of current income that all these look like it can be paid out of current income. If your portfolio creation is for a goal, then it has to be in writing, saying this money should be ready by this particular year, which could be 5 years from now. Exactly like that, you should have a retirement accumulation plan. Please understand, retirement is in two phases. One is the accumulation plan and one is the withdrawal plan. You need two separate plans. You first need a plan which just tells you how you are accumulating, right? What will be the first, you start writing down the plan. So step one is to have that plan along with the timelines, saying, okay, this has to happen by this date, this has to happen by this date. So your objective should be clear, your timeline should be clear, your spouse should know what you are doing, right? So that is the first one. The second one is to analyze the external factors. So one thing is very clear, whether it is the BJP in power or the Congress in power or whoever else comes to power, the chances are that the taxation will increase. The chances are there will be estate duty, there will be wealth tax, there will be gift tax. If you are the elite of this country, learn and accept that you will pay more taxes, and there is nothing you can do about it. All the loopholes are plugged, right? So if you have income, you will pay tax. So you have dividend income, now you will pay tax. Earlier, dividend was being taxed at the company level. Please don't think that dividends were tax free. Companies were paying 28% tax. Now, if your mother pays 10% tax and your wife pays 25% tax and you pay 43% tax, the chances are for your mother and your wife, the taxation is gone down. For you, the taxation has gone up. So it may make sense for you to keep more shares in your wife and your mother's portfolio than in your portfolio. But I'm digressing. So analyze the external factors, see whether where the markets are headed, right? If you are in a 12-year bull run or a 13-year bull run, chances are that you are perhaps at the peak of a bull run, and if your retirement is nearby, you may want to salt away some money in debt instruments, maybe gold, maybe real estate, whatever it is. So check your asset allocation, have that as a part of your plan, saying, okay, I will have so much asset. When you make your plan, and then every asset which you have taken, you got a lot of assets, right? That's what we said from your NSGL statement. Take every asset and peg it to a particular goal. So if you have a goal which is 3 years away, it can't be equity, it has to be debt. So take all your debt instruments and say, okay, this is for this goal, this goal, this goal, earmark it. And your equity, you earmark it for any long-term goal which is 10 years and above, or for your retirement. Then you know which asset is for what and have that in writing. Now in your overall thing, get your asset allocation right. See how much you want to be in debt and how much you want to be in equity. If all your goals are say 10 years plus, it means you can be more equity heavy, but that should also give you sleep at night. So between sleep at night, seeking aggressive returns, understanding of equity market, all that you have to optimize and arrive at your best asset allocation, right? So you need to, after analyzing the external factors, you need to see the asset allocation, which is some kind of a risk profiling. I know I don't need to take risk, then why am I taking risk? That is one question to answer. Second is to answer a question, do I need to risk so much to earn something which I may or may not need, right? Do I need to create such a big corpus that I leave behind something, or concentrate on a small corpus which is enough for my lifestyle, and the other part of the corpus I manage it as if I'm managing it for my granddaughter, right? So you need to find out all this. If your children need the money, are you willing to give away that? That has to be in writing, right? So you have now got your plan in writing, you have analyzed the external factors, you have arrived at your asset allocation. Now the important thing is to choose the funds. Either you choose it yourself, or you get a IFA, MFD, RIA, somebody to help you do that. Obviously that will cost some money for sure, right? And you have to take a call whether you want to handle your 5 crore, 10 crore portfolio on your own, and do you have the ability to do it. Honestly, I am not for a person who would sit and want to sit every Sunday or every week and find out what has gone up, what has gone down. I'd rather put it on autopilot or give it to an IFA or MFD who will do all this work, right? So it's your choice whether you want to pay fees for it, pay a fixed fee for it, pay per hour, and whether you want it at all. That is the choice that you have to make, right? So having done all this, then actually choose the securities and implement it, right? So if you've got an RIA who tells you, you choose the funds, ask the RIA or ask the MFD. If he also is in concurrence, you buy it. If you're not in concurrence, find out why not, right? Based on that, change your decision, or you tell the MFD, no, I think this is what I want and this is what you're doing. But for heaven's sake, make sure that it is in writing that you are chosen the funds, not him or her. Because tomorrow if something goes wrong, it should not happen that it misfires on that person, because his company may take him to task for suggesting fund schemes which are not in your risk profile, right? So find out all that and just go ahead and implement it. Thank you.